All right, guys, we got Roscoe in the chair. You guys haven't seen him for a while, and I haven't seen him for a while. You guys can see this mop that he's working with. He kind of just wants to trim today, but I thought it was a nice video to show you guys. He was just saying that he doesn't really know how he would tackle this if somebody wanted it cleaned up. Pretty much cleaning up the back, more importantly, and just kind of a trim all over to make it lay nice. So hopefully it's helpful for you guys, but let's get into it. All right, guys, we're gonna start off by saturating all of his hair. For scissor cuts, I like for it to be saturated all the way through so I can section it nice. I can comb through it nice, make sure it's nice and neat. So we'll get it saturated, then we can section it out how we want, and we'll start on the scissor cut. Little trick for you guys, you can add something like this grooming spray or some tonic to the wet hair, and it actually will help the hair stay damp longer. A little trick I learned from my guy Josh OP and CJ. So I just wet the hair down, now we're adding that, and now we're gonna section it out and get ready to start cutting. So you guys can see he has so much hair, I can't really tell where the crown is. So one thing you can do is just kind of shake it out, and you can start to see where it wants to fall. Now I can see that the crown is right here. I'll just loosely comb it out in the direction that it wants to go, and then we can section it out to get ready for our scissor cut. All right, so we'll go from the crown up to the recession point. I just let it naturally follow its head shape. You guys can see a nice clean part. I didn't have to force it. If I get to the front and it's a little bit low and I need some of this hair for the top, we can adjust that. But you guys see we got a nice clean part, so we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we can start cutting. All right, guys, so we have it sectioned. The first thing we're gonna do is set our perimeter, our transition zone right here. That's gonna connect the top to that and connect everything underneath. So I'm gonna start in the back, just this top layer, come down to the parietal ridge, and then pull out. I wanna make sure I get a nice clean section. And I'm just kind of looking at what he has. It's definitely super long. He doesn't wanna take a ton off. We're probably gonna just do like an inch trim here. So you can see I have an inch out. Take that off, and then we will follow his head shape. So as I move around, I'm gonna follow the shape. I'm not gonna cut it straight across. I'm gonna round into his head shape as I work my way around. One more panel here. Now I can come back and double check just to make sure that it's nice and neat. And then we'll work on going up one side and then the other side. So now what I wanna look at, guys, is the length that we have here, because we're gonna connect that to what we have. So the shortest part right here at the front is where I'm gonna start this. And then back here where this guide is where it's gonna end. So you can see where we've already cut. And if I was to pull this out, you can see that the line's gonna be something like that. So again, following the head shape, cut that guide in, work our way around the side, and we'll work up towards that shortest point. We'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, so we have our guide up here that we cut. If we were to pull it out, this is where we've already cut. We're just gonna take a section down the middle. This will be our first section. Get a hold of it, bring it out. So you can see the guide at the top that we already cut. You can see the hair underneath. And we'll just follow that straight down. We'll do one section in the middle. We'll work all the way to the left and then all the way to the right. Again, following that guide. And then we can move on to the sides. So I'm just cutting a straight line down from where your guide was. Now this hair tucks in, right? So it's gonna be the longest. And the hair right here is the furthest out on your head, and then it rounds back up. So technically the hair is longer at the top and the bottom, and this is your shortest, but the line is straight up and down on that section. All right, guys, so I'm just looking at the very bottom. It's just a little bit thin here and uneven, so we're not gonna take a ton off because we obviously already cut all this. We just wanna give it a nice clean line across the bottom. So I'm just gonna, again, following its head shape, pull it all straight down. Now you can see my guide. And we'll just work it out to each corner, all the way to the left. Now we can come back to the right. And another thing, guys, if you wanted to, you could set this line from the beginning. And then once we cut our top guideline up here, whenever we pull this section out, we can cut down to what this line right here is gonna give us. So it's gonna create a line like this and land at this kind of this length that we just set. So that is one possibility. I like to just come in afterward. Once I can kind of see how it's all laying. Now I'm just coming back for precision, and the back is done. All right, guys, so just like our normal process, we're gonna split it down the middle, kind of comb it like that, see what it naturally wants to do. Take the rest of this way. So now we have a section, guys, and the idea is to pull it out, and we want to find our guide up underneath here that we cut at the beginning. So you guys comb it out, you should see, really there's not much hanging over. It's already pretty balanced. And we're just tying the top in to that initial guide that we cut. So I can see underneath where I cut, work all the way up towards the front. And you can see his bangs are obviously way shorter, so we're probably gonna pretty much leave that alone where it's falling out. And now I'll kind of go from the shortest point right here. Again, we want to even him up and give him some nice healthy hair so it can lay a little bit cleaner. So now I just work from here back to that first point that we started with. So now you should be able to see both cuts. Boom, and there's that line. And then when you're coming back, we should get a nice clean lay in. Not that he's gonna wear it like this, but that's kind of a good check to see if it's laying right. All right guys, so because the back was so much longer than the front, I'm gonna start in the back. I'm gonna kind of take a section right here. I'm gonna pull it up. You see the short hairs falling out. You see the short hairs right here. I'm just gonna do a light point cut just to keep it a little bit textured, a little bit loose. Regrip if you have to. You can see the short hairs on the left side. You can see some of the long hairs I didn't get. We can drop that out. Go ahead and add it to the back. We'll work our way from back to front and we'll be done. We can move on to a little, we're just gonna do a little loose blow dry. All right guys, I'm gonna add a little statement matte paste just to give it a little body while we're blow drying it, and we're gonna blow dry it super loose. So I'm just gonna apply this to the hair. It's still saturated. It does have some of that statement grooming spray in it. Go ahead, and we're just gonna kind of loosely put this in, and then we'll take our blow dryer. We're just really gonna let this thing lay natural. We don't want it to be super styled. He was saying he really wants it to be something that he can just kind of air dry and go. So I'm just putting this in, and then I'm really just gonna blow it around with the blow dryer until it's kind of dry and see what we got. Yeah.
This right here looks like a haircut.
Yeah, like we did cut it. I mean, there's hair on the floor. There's more hair on the floor from you than there is a lot of the fades I do.
Man, see, I love it. Man, this looks so much better. I mean, because in jiu-jitsu, I'm rolling the hair so long.
Oh, you still doing
back
it?
And they got one in Ohio County now. And if they pull it, you know what I mean? Say it gets caught in a lock or something against the mat, it'll pull the hair out. It hurts. I'm like, man, I need to cut it, but I want it to be longer.
And now it's gonna grow out even better, and then we do it again, and we can leave it, like if you're like the front's way long, or I'm gonna start wearing it back, let's trim it, then we can adjust it even more next time. But that's it guys, you see it, you heard what he said, went from just grown out to, now he's got a little shape, I put some powder in there, he may not rock it like this, got a little body, but definitely looks way more of a style, still has plenty of length, you guys can see not too difficult. He said he's gonna go back and study this haircut so that he can do it himself, but you guys see much better than what he came in with. It was just grown out and crazy, and you can see now he got a little bit of style. He might be able to pull him one now. But yeah guys, leave me a comment, let me know if this scissor video was helpful, and if you guys want to check out another scissor video, make sure you guys click right there and check that one out.